So here's a question for you. It's kind of hypothetical. So you're sitting where you are right now, and through the door, suddenly someone comes in, and they look exactly like you, except they look. They're even wearing the same clothes you are, and they are disheveled. That might even be a little bit damaged, a little bit, like with a little cut on their head or something. And they look at you and go, "You have to come with me. I'm from the future." What do you do?
Well, if they're from the future, they obviously know more than I do. So any scenario with someone's from the future, you go with them and you just do what they do, tell you to
All right,
do.
just bring your camera.
Yeah. Because they're around and they know what's going on. You don't. So I actually asked myself the same question. If I could go back in time to like me freshman year,
Oh yeah.
this would be a safe time, be like a, 10:30 on a Tuesday before I got up for class. And, I'm alone. My roommate has already gone out. I'd be a safe time to talk to myself. What would I tell myself if I only had 5 minutes? Right. I mean, obviously, I'd just be like, listen, I'm from the future. So you don't obviously, I know more than you. So just listen. Carbs are bad. Facebook, um, Facebook, whatever. Maybe you could talk about, I think, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. That's a little too early. I'd be like, buy sex.com, whatever.com, commonword.com, and just hold these things because you could have done that in the mid 90s before people knew what that was. I would tell people to do certain things, myself to do certain things. And I was just like, listen, don't argue, just do them. I'm from the future. I know you don't. And if you do these things, you'll be rich.
Yeah, I have that thought often myself.
I like how you just flipped the question. You're like, well, I've actually thought about talking to popping in on my past self.
Yeah, shouldn't my future self be giving me some information right now?
Yeah. I mean, the most important would have been okay, because I was hardcore riding my bike and dieting and exercising, but filling myself full of sugar and carbs. I had this idea that remember when granola at the school cafeteria was freely available for if you didn't like whatever food was out that day?
Yeah.
Granola and yogurt and all that crap. I was eating that all the time. If only I'd known, all I had to do was stop eating the carbs and the sugar and just keep doing what I was doing. That would have been awesome, but I didn't know that. I was like, oh, calories. We got to keep the we got to keep the fat down, even though that's what I should have been eating.
Mm.
The best message from the future would have been that.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff comes from childhood where like my family was always like, "Eat up, finish your plate or you're not going to go anywhere and here have some more. Did you want some more cake? Want some more lasagna?" And I find that with me with my son, I don't do that. If I put food down in front of him and he doesn't want to eat, I'm like, "All right, yeah, well, I'll put it in a box in a carton for you." My parents, they would have made me eat it and then they would have asked if I wanted more, and that I have to actively try not to eat too much food now because I
Hmm.
grew up that way. I'm
Yeah.
always
Yeah,
thinking about it.
I had the same experience with liver and onions with my mom.
Oh,
And in the 70s, yeah, in the 70s, things were just done a certain way.
yeah.
And my mom prepared this, I think it was from her work. It was a very nice plate of very expensive. I guess that was like the most nutritious food back then, where people thought for some
Yeah.
reason you should eat little organs filled
Yep.
with iron. Um, and it's like, she's like, I got this, with great difficulty. You're going to eat this, and I'm like, I'm not going to eat this. If you're going to sit here at this table until you eat that food, I sat there until 10 p.m.
Yeah.
because I was just that stubborn,
Yep.
and I would not eat it.
Hmm.
And but that's the old school way of doing things.
Yeah. My therapist said the same thing that you just said. He said all that teaches is your child teaches your child is stubbornness. It doesn't teach them
Mhm.
anything else.
Or brings that trait out. But
Yeah. Exactly.
yeah, but lots of things. It was the 70s, like I say a lot now with my own past things that I regret. It was the 80s. What you gonna do?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's
it was
true.
the 80s is catch-all explanation for a lot of things.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.